This is Samuel McGee, and you're listening to the Ascent with Crestmont Private Wealth on Bernie Radio 103.9 FM.
The opinions expressed are those of the host. The material is for informational purposes only. It does not constitute investment advice, and it is not intended as an endorsement for any specific investment. Visit crestmontpw.com for more details.
Welcome to The Ascent. This is Sam McGee, CEO and owner of Crestmont Private Wealth. We have offices in Houston, Texas, and Bernie, Texas. And today, we're talking about investing outside of the portfolio. So this is a financial literacy show, but it's also a lot about life. And some of the things that we talk about during retirement planning are making memories, using that money that you've made to go do really cool things. And we had the chance to do something really, really cool a couple years ago, something called Way Forward Adventures up in Colorado. And in the studio today, I have some really amazing young men, some future Bernie High School products. I've got Gavin Gomez here with us. Say hello.
Hi, I'm Gavin Gomez.
And we've got Oliver Graham.
Hi, I'm Oliver.
And I've got Pierce Carlson.
Hi, I'm Pierce Carlson.
And Samuel McGee.
Hi, I'm Samuel McGee.
So I'm sitting here in the studio with these four fine young men, and we did this really cool trip, Way Forward Adventures, up in Colorado about 2 years ago. It was August of 2024, and it was a backpacking trip out in the middle of the Rio Grande National Forest. It was 3 nights, lots of hiking. We got up to a 13,500-foot peak at sunrise. It was absolutely amazing, and it was a memory. No phones, no Garmins, no compasses, no nothing. We packed in our food on our backpacks with our dads, and the dads are not here with us today, but that'll be another episode. And it was just a great experience. So why are we talking about this on the show today? We're talking about it because if you're investing in your portfolio and you're spending all the time to make all this money or manage risk for your portfolio or making an income, what's it all for, right? And we talk about this all the time. Time, talent, treasure. Making time with your loved ones, with your kids. This happened to be a trip that we did with our sons. So we've got 4 of the sons here with us today. Not everybody, unfortunately. But I'm going to start with you, Pierce. So, Pierce, tell us one of your favorite memories that you could think of from the trip.
One of my favorite memories was playing mountain ball. It's basically baseball, but just in the mountains with all of my friends. And me and my friend Gavin Gomez, we hit a ball really far, and we went to go find it, and we caught a moose right behind us, and we had to run away from it.
Yeah, that was kind of scary. So I remember standing there next to a couple of the dads, and we had already been trained on what to do and not do with a moose, right? What do you not do?
Run away.
Right, because they're pretty fast, right? I mean, I know you're fast, but
yeah,
maybe not as fast as a moose.
Definitely not.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was very cool. Okay. Well, let's turn it over to Oliver. So, Oliver, give us maybe one of your favorite memories that you and your dad had on the trip.
I had never met anybody on the trip until we went, so probably making friendships that lasted into middle school.
Very cool. That's right. You were new, right?
Yes, because I went to a different elementary school than everybody.
Ah, that's right. And what was your nickname on the trip again?
Breadstick.
And how did that come about?
I don't remember.
Go ahead and explain this. This is my son, Samuel McGee. Where did Breadstick come from?
So I've always thought of Breadstick, and it was because of multiple reasons.
Wasn't it Olive Garden, though?
It was Olive Garden at first that I wanted to name him. And then it got vetoed on the van there. So then we had to decide a new one. So we all thought, why not Breadstick? Like, we'll make a compromise. Olive Garden? What do you think of it? The breadsticks.
All right, next up, we've got Gavin Gomez. So Gavin is a future soccer star here in Bernie. There's no doubt about it. And I spent a lot of time with your dad before we went and knew him pretty well, but I didn't know you so well. And so I remember you talking a lot about how much you enjoyed the trip. What was one of your favorite things that you remember about the trip?
One of my favorite things was when we got private time with our dads, and it was just a really nice time to get conversations that just you and your dad talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Oliver, I'm going to swing it back to you. Kind of give everybody, the listeners, an idea of what this trip was all about. So starting with, arriving at the campsite and what we did to get ready, and then, what happened.
So we left Bernie like really early, and we all rode in the same car, like all of the kids. And then, before we got there, we like stopped and we played some football up in the mountain, and it was really fun. And then we showed up to the place, and all the counselors were like super high energy. We got there, we ate a really good dinner that night, and then we left for the mountain. Once we got to the mountain, we hiked about 2 miles the first day, stopped to play mountain ball for a little bit, then took camp there. And then after that, we continued hiking up, and we went almost to the top. We stopped there, and that's where we encountered the moose. Early the next morning, they woke us up before sunrise, and we ended up at the peak before sunrise hiking. And then so we were up at the peak for sunrise. We took some like devotional time with our parents up there, and then we started coming back down. Once we got back down, we took the rest of the day off and just like hung around, played some games. And then the final day, we walked back down the mountain, a different direction, and came over the other side back to the van that took us back to the camp.
So Pierce, what was it like just being up there with other dads and other kids, and maybe describe for others that haven't done something like this why they should go do it?
Well, it was really fun because we got to spend time with some of our best friends and our dads, and we got to spend time with the Lord too. And me and Gavin and Oliver were all new to those friends because me and Gavin just moved there, and then Oliver was just new to our friend group. And we just got to learn so much about each other, so much about our dads, so much about the Lord and His Word. And you got to also have a very hard and difficult, fun time trying to get up that mountain. It was just a workout.
That was tough.
Yeah, it was really fun.
So Samuel, describe what everybody was carrying on their backs and how it was a cool thing that if you got your name called for dinner, why was that so special?
So pretty much we would have to carry our own food, our own pots, pans, all that stuff for our food for the whole entire backpacking trip. So if you got your name called, you would have to wear it, and that was kind of good because then you would get to you got more fit. Like, who doesn't want to be more fit when you're going up?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it was a tough challenge too. So Oliver, explain what mountain ball is, because we weren't allowed to bring anything. We couldn't bring compasses, phones. We couldn't even bring a knife, right? So explain how we created this whole mountain baseball thing.
So before we left, Pierce had found a wiffle ball bat and then like a softball-sized plastic ball. So that's what we used the first day, but then we ended up breaking that plastic ball because, we hit it too hard. So later on, we used the foil that we had wrapped up one of our food in, and then we wrapped it around a rock and then put a little bit of tape over it, and that's what we used for the rest of the trip until we lost it the last day.
So you science teachers at junior year, you have a future Goldberg winner here in Oliver Graham, no doubt about it. Gavin, let's come back to you. There was one particular night that I remember. I don't think it was the moose night, but we were freezing. You remember? Okay. Describe this. Describe in great detail for the listeners what that was like.
Well, first it was like really windy, and all of our tents were like going to fly away. And then it started like raining, and then we all had to go to our tents, and there started like snowing or hailing or something. Hail everywhere. It looked like snow. And then it just stopped.
And how many people did you see other than our group that entire time? 0, right? How cool was that?
It was really cool.
We saw more animals than we saw other people. Yeah. 0 people. And who had phones on the trip?
Nobody.
What was that like?
It was really nice just being with our friends and the Lord and our fathers.
Yeah. And so did you miss having like a phone or video games and stuff when you were on the trip?
No.
No? Yeah. And what was that like coming back to it?
I just didn't play it because I just go outside now.
Yeah, cool. I like it. Okay, guys, I want you to describe to your younger self, to maybe a kid that doesn't go on a big adventure or doesn't go on a big retreat with a church where they can get out in nature. Why should you do it?
It was like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Like, I don't think I'm going to go back, but it was so fun. And I still have memories with my dad from there, and we still discuss it 2 years later.
Samuel, what do you think? How would you encourage someone? In what way? What do you think was so impactful to you?
It was getting to spend time with the Lord, like Pierce and Oliver and Gavin were all saying. And then also, it helped with building a better relationship with my dad, too. We got to spend more time together and really start to get into deeper conversations. And also, the nature around us. It's what God gave us is so beautiful up there. It's nothing like what you'll ever see. You're in the mountains, you see lakes right by you, you're sleeping next to Mother Nature. Like, it's what God gives us that's so pretty.
Pierce, so you had never done anything like this before, and did you have any apprehension about doing it, or were you just fired up, ready to go, and super excited about it? And then what was your biggest takeaway from it?
Well, at first, when I heard about us just having the idea, because our friend Caden, who's not here with us today, he created the group to all go on this trip, and he told me about it during school, and I was like fired up. And then when I started thinking about it, I was a little nervous because I heard how much miles we have to climb. But then afterwards, I would trade anything for it because there was so much to give for that. It taught us all so much.
Love it. And we'll post the map. It was a little more than 2 miles. It was a long ways, pretty tough route, but doable. And it's definitely something that I think surprised everybody, kind of the outcomes from it. And we're going to have a second part on this with the dads. And this will be in a few weeks. It'll be part 2 about investing outside of the portfolio. But today I've got 4 amazing young men that are Bernie products here with us. We've got Oliver, Gavin, Pierce, and Samuel, all future Bernie High School graduates. And what class are you guys?
2031.
2031, class of 2031. So you're going to see these guys and their numbers called out on the field, but more importantly, you know their heart because you heard it here today. And so proud of these young men and the dads for taking them on this trip. So why are we talking about this on the show? Why did I bring these guys on it? It's because we wanted you to hear the impact that taking the time, investing in time with your kids, your loved ones, your family, and why it's so important. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be the richest guy in the cemetery. It's about making memories, making a lasting legacy, and impacting your community. I think that's all we have time for today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Look for part 2 of this series with the dads of these fine young men in a couple weeks. Have a great weekend, and God bless.